Hello everybody, I am Technovoid, your host and that weird stain on the back of your couch, and with me is Hamsterwings, your favorite Pokemon analyst. We are here today with the final week of TDD Season 5.
Why are you staying?
Dude, go check. I'm there. I'm hungry. Let me in. Invite me to dinner, please.
I don't have a stain on my couch.
You gotta check better. I'm there now. I just moved in.
I see.
How's the neighborhood?
My neighborhood's alright.
Okay. Cool. Does your neighborhood involve matches between Stormy Sunshine and Whiskey Tattoo?
Well, it does now.
That's fantastic, because this is a match that is going to determine who goes to playoffs in the third seed. So let's talk about this matchup. I think this is a really interesting matchup.
I do think this is a really interesting matchup. Before the match, I mean, you're always allowed to ask for advice in this league. We do it all the time. We encourage it. Stormy came to me asking for what to do with her team, and I actually told her, change nothing, just understand that you have no switch-ins to Ray and you are playing hyper offense.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use your own feints to create momentum.
Yep.
That's the main thing I told her, which I think is accurate.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Whiskey, I'm sure, as he does every week, probably got advice from his brother.
Dude,
Diggory.
Whiskey has a brother that plays TDD?
Yeah, Diggory.
That's insane. Okay.
So, I mean, looking on the matchup here, it does look like on paper that Stormy gets rolled.
I wish I had a brother that played TDD.
I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, okay, so Whiskey gets rolled. Okay.
So I would say that it looks like on paper that Stormy kind of gets rolled because she doesn't have something to kill Suicune outright. Like, Ferrothorn beats it, sure, but what you may not know is that the Ferrothorn is bended, so it does beat Suicune.
I see.
So outside of that, it looks very rough into specifically Whiskey's SAA. But if Stormy can utilize her momentum and her Trick Room correctly, even if Trick Room doesn't go up, there's a way to play around it specifically because Glastrier has Akaberry, V-Create is supposed to OHKO. If it doesn't, that's a huge surprise attack on Ray, killing it.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, knowing that the Pharaoh is choice banded now changes my advice from earlier in the chat.
Oh.
So, because there's something at the end of the match that I was going to mention.
No, I think I know what you're going to say, and I still agree with you.
Okay, alright. Shall we play into it then?
Yeah.
Let's go. It's a very, very exciting matchup. Leading here with what looks like a TR set.
Yep.
And
I wouldn't be surprised if TR went up because, I mean, Heatran is not going to kill, but it makes sense to switch also in case he fake out double targets. But he in fact fake outs the Araquanid, which would have allowed Trick Room to go up. Aromatisse would have lived that. But still not a bad position for Stormy to be in. She can fire off some attacks this turn with basically no repercussions.
yeah, lowered attack right now, but honestly, with how strong Water Bubble is, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's a resisted hit. Come the fuck on.
Yeah. I respect the double into Heatran.
Yeah.
Hitmontop was not an immediate threat, so I respect that play.
And a really, really nice
really
Sap
good
Sipper
switch.
switch here.
Really good switch into the Sap Sipper boy. Girl, actually, in this case. And Rotom gonna go right down.
Yes, that is huge, because Mudsdale does not want to deal with that thing.
Yeah. Whiskey probably saw the liquidation damage and thought it might have been banded.
I see.
But
Man.
no, Araquanid's just that strong. Sacking Goodra, questionable, but it allows Stormy to set up that trap that I mentioned at the very beginning with the Glastrier bait.
Right, the Glastrier bait. Yeah. What would Goodra have been nice? So I guess it would have been nice against Heatran still.
So Goodra would have been a really good resist to Suicune, even though Suicune has Ice Beam. Goodra's gonna eat that, and her Goodra had Electrium Z.
I see. Okay. Okay, very nice. And then, yeah, the very unfortunate freeze. We've had so many freezes this season, I never want to see another Ice Beam freeze.
It's ridiculous.
It's nuts.
So, Whiskey probably assumes this turn is going to go off amazing for him. The Glastrier is intimidated in case it lives, but he drops his own defense
Yes.
with V-Create, and it lives with the Akaberry, allowing Glastrier to just instantly revenge kill Rayquaza, which is great bait, just a great play.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you love to see that.
You'll love to see it. And then it comes to close combat. I mean, that was pretty obvious, I think.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I kind of agree with it. Now, here, I really would have liked to see Trick Room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, instead of the heal pulse. Yeah, I think it was pretty clear at that point that Glastrier was not surviving the turn, so I think either a Trick Room...
Glastrier was threatened by literally every stab on the enemy team.
Yeah. I think Trick Room, or even just like a Moonblast, would it have killed a Hitmontop? Maybe, I don't know, it's minus special defense.
Minus Spadef, maybe, but I think the optimal play there would have been Trick Room.
GR, yeah. Makes sense to me. Raquanet comes back in, still frozen, big Sag.
Yeah, making the safe attack into Heatran does make sense. Araquanid's still frozen, which is not great for it.
Yes, but all of these physical attackers just getting screwed by a Intimidate. I know what that's like.
Yeah.
Man, getting screwed by Intimidates and Freezes. What is this, one of my matches?
But I mean, he takes more than 50 from an intimidated Mudsdale.
Yeah. And here comes Pharaoh, and this is really nice. And this is, okay, so this burn, I feel like we should talk about this burn.
It is quite unfortunate.
It is quite unfortunate.
The best way to think about burn is that it makes you -2. So Stormy is effectively -1 right now because of her choice band.
Uh-huh.
So basically, it's intimidated.
Yes. When I was watching this match, I remember first seeing the burn and being like, that really sucks for Stormy. But then I thought
now
about
you know that it really sucks.
Now I know that it really sucks. But I will say, like a minute into the match, I thought to myself, you know what? This does make it immune to freeze, and that might be more important. Just
I guess.
The way these matches this season have been going, being immune to freeze is kind of huge. That was my mistake. I didn't run fucking Toxic Orb on any of my Pokemon. That's why I kept getting
barely
frozen.
lives the liquidation, and Aromatisse comes back out. Protect on Heatran allows, nothing to happen this turn.
Yeah, Stone Edge Miss, always playing with fire.
Huge Stone Edge Miss. Araquanid not going to go down because its ability does make it resist fire.
Yes. And this is actually kind of enormous because that liquidation was targeting the Heatran slot. But since it had that life orb, it ends up killing itself, which redirects the liquidation into the Hitmontop slot, getting Stormy a 2-for-1.
Yeah, and I would say this is probably one of the most impactful turns on the match, and I think where Stormy lost.
Right here? Yeah.
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 I think right here, you had to double Comfy.
Yeah, Comfy needs to die.
Because no amount of doubling is going to kill Suicune in one turn with this pair.
Yeah, especially with Araquanid at 0.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, you needed to either switch Mudsdale back in and sack and get a Araquanid out at full attack, or you just need to double in the Comfy.
Yeah, the game plan here was to double into Comfy, either sack or switch, or not sack, but switch out Ferrothorn so that it can come back in, band it into Power Whip.
Uh-huh. Yeah, as it stands, the Draining Kiss is not going to do very much. The Liquidation is going to do a fucking hearty amount at -2.
Yeah.
But yeah,
and the Gyro Ball really needed to go into Comfy.
Yeah, because right now, this Comfy has Triage. I mean...
Yeah.
It will just heal the Suicune up. Because, yeah, as you said, with the burn, there's no way that Suicune is dying, even with a double target. Which it's not going to get at this point. And it just... it'll just do that.
Plus, here, you can't allow Araquanid to die. Because you need 3 Pokemon to be able to switch moves on Ferrothorn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as it stands
at the very least, the Power Whip needed to go into Comfy
into the other slot. Yeah, because at that much, it might have killed at 23. I mean, Comfy's not that physically bulky, right?
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah. Nice defense boost. So yeah, that is going to be the end of the match. I think this one was very close, and I think Stormy definitely still did have a win con at the end there. And this Comfy does go down. I actually did not realize that I never actually finished watching the match. because I was in the car. I did not realize that this ended up being a 1-0. Wow, that makes it very, very close.
Yeah.
So yeah, great match. I think definitely a lot of win cons on both sides there. Strummy ended up, as you said, I think the band was something that A, was necessary, but B, also did require that better play towards the end with Mudsdale.
Yeah, it just really needed, like, Comfy needed to be target priority number 1.
Yeah, yeah. That being said, I mean, I think great learning experience here. I don't think this is
Yeah,
a match that anyone should be disappointed by, even if it means that you're not going to playoffs. Who
No,
even
I think
wants
they-
to go to playoffs? Who even
I think they
likes
both
that?
played amazingly.
Yeah. Dude, who even... I've never even wanted to go to playoffs. Never. Not a single time. Dude, playing 3 matches a week is for nerds. Let's be real.
Like, genuinely, it is hard to prep 3 teams per week.
All right, but now moving into Timer Ball, let's talk about Diggory versus Ko.
Yeah, so Diggory's kind of bringing his more or less bog standard rain team.
Mm-hmm.
Ko's bringing kind of old reliable, I suppose.
Is this... Hold up.
This is kind of what he brings a lot.
Is this the exact same team Diggory brought against me?
Team comp wise, yeah.
Team,
probably.
yeah. Obviously not the moves, but like team comp wise, it's just what he brought against me. Cool. So we're not seeing Victini here, which makes a lot of sense against potential Rain team. Vaporeon makes a lot of sense. There was one Pokemon on Ko's side I was surprised to not see. I don't remember what it was.
Maybe Hippopotas.
Don't say Hippopotas. No, I respect Ko for not doing the dumbass weather war bullshit. I respect that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Pelipper
I think
has a lot more priority, but also Hippopotas with Stealth Rocks would have been not bad here.
This is true. I think Whimsicott makes a ton of sense here. Prankster Tailwind can essentially nullify a Swift Swim. Of course, Pelipper does also have Tailwind, which is important to note, but I do still think that makes Whimsicott a worthy bring. Clefairy, I feel like, has not been doing a great job this season.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, Clefairy, Ko's drafted Clefairy before, and it was a must bring to every single game. This time it's shown up in like less than half the matches.
Yeah, it's just been, I feel like, it's part of his defensive core alongside the Vaporeon in a lot of matches, but I just feel like it doesn't do that much. And then coming from Diggory's side here, I mean, obviously the Swampert just threatens a lot here.
Yeah, it just does.
It just does. What does
Notably,
Coco do here?
Diggory does not have much of a special presence, which is why Coco is probably necessary for that Urshifu, unless he wants to take multiple turns to kill it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Ludicolo can certainly get the job done, but not in one turn.
I mean, this is another one of those situations where freaking uninvested Dazzling Gleam kills it.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. How do you feel? So I want to say, Ko's been loving Excadrill this season. How do you feel about Excadrill into this match?
Into this match, it's hard.
Yeah, I was gonna say because it's definitely been MVPing for him. But if there was one match I wouldn't bring Excadrill to, it would be this.
But at the same time, he just needs it for Coco. Nothing else on his team deals with Coco.
Okay. Noted. All right, let's play into it. And so this is a really fun first turn, which doesn't quite pan out, but I think it's a very fun concept.
Yeah, I think it's very risky.
Yes.
But
potentially high dividends. Living there with the Sash, which is very good. Exactly what Diggory's looking for right now. I'm pretty sure Diggory just planned out these first 2 turns and like got exactly what he wanted.
Yeah.
In comes the Clefairy here.
Gonna go for that Muddy Water. It's gonna do quite a bit, but now he gets the weakness policy boost by U-turning his own Ludicolo, which is interesting because at this point he can Muddy Water and Bullet Punch the Thunderous and it'll die, but of course a good old ally switch. I don't understand Giga Drain here.
Yeah, I feel like Muddy Water was definitely the better play there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Going for a Sword
uh, who ally switched? It was the Clefairy, so Scizor would have gone first.
Mm-hmm.
I think. No, it's ally switch +2. I don't remember.
I don't remember. I think
it's probably +2.
Yeah.
Bullet Punch does a whole lot to that thing, which
Yeah.
makes sense. He is +2, but
Nice
I mean,
switch
just
there.
goes to show Urshifu's Fizdef is nothing to mess with.
And it is out of the game. That's pretty big. But
yeah,
it also
that is big.
it does leave Coco in a position here where I feel like there's not too much that Coco has left to do other than maybe deal with this Vaporeon.
Yeah, I feel like Coco is a very valuable sack right now.
Uh-huh.
Like, if you have something you don't want to lose, you just throw out Coco. Like, even here, I would have been like, just throw out Coco, let it die.
Yes, but this is big because this 2x Dragon Darts gets rid of that, and the
good
tailwind
old
is up.
smart targeting on Dragon Darts.
But at this point, Ko is faster because he does have that tailwind, just going to show how strong the Whimsicott is into this match. Because right now, I mean, Diggory's options are lose that +2 attack or just die, really.
Yeah, he's already in a tough spot. I think this is the part where I would just sack Coco.
Potentially. Yeah, because as it stands, this was going to be a double down for Diggory, and that could potentially be a good thing, but when you only have Coco and Swampert left, especially as we're saying Coco not being that valuable of a mon at this point, it just, yeah, it's kind of dangerous. At this point, the Swampert sort of getting canceled out on its Swift Swim.
Because if Coco had come out last turn, I don't know. Maybe nothing would have changed, but because regardless, Whimsicott had a Protect ready to get up Tailwind again.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the end either way. But Diggory does pick up 2 more kills here.
Very, 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 very good targeting there. But at this point, I don't think he can do it, right?
No. Not with the Tailwind up.
Yeah, not with the Excadrill right there.
2 super effective boys, assuming that the Grass Knot is about to come out.
Yes, I think that's a very, very, very likely and expected there. Not really too much he could have done, and yeah, at this point he's just slower, and he has no way of surviving this.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
He needed to know that Whimsicott had Protect, which I don't think he did at the time.
Right.
Because Protect guaranteed it 4 more turns of Tailwind, which Diggory could not have dealt with.
Yep. Yeah, I think especially once that Vaporeon went down, I think the there were other ways to play the Scizor turn, as you said, with the Bullet Punch versus the Swords Dance. However, I do think that was also a very good move, and sort of switching out into the Dragapult so Dragapult could start sweeping. I think Dragapult works this match as a late game sweeper, assuming the Whimsicott is dead. As long as the Whimsicott is still alive, you do have an issue there, and once the Vape was down, Coco, I think, needed to act as a buffer so that your final 2 would be a little more useful against Ko's last few mons.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yep. Okay, alrighty. And then
it was a good match.
Yeah, good match. Into the last match of the week, we have Post versus Peanut. Now, this is a fucking match.
This is a match with heavy implications also.
Yes. Let's discuss teams.
Implications that we don't know how they're going to go yet.
No, we don't.
So, I think Post has a pretty good matchup with Blastoise, and I don't know, his team and like what's his name, Crocodile, I don't know, he has a lot of members that are good into this, what I see in front of me.
Yeah, I think Florges is definitely a concern here. I think it makes a lot of sense for that to be Peanut's only C-tier bring here. The Caparaja, very, very nice pick into it, but other than that, I feel like Florges does a whole lot.
Yeah.
Not seeing the Spectrier is, I feel like, kind of huge on both sides. I think it makes sense, but I also do think it's kind of huge because I see it as one of the most threatening Pokemon to Post, but I also see it as one of the Pokemon that Post can threaten most easily.
Yeah, that's kind of the duality of Spectrier.
Right. I think what with Spectrier it came down to is Spectrier made the match a lot more volatile. than it is right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
I think
agree.
it would have been a lot more swingy had Peanut brought it. Instead, I think the Florges is a great pick. How do you feel about the B tiers here? Because we do see all of the B tiers, and I'm not sure that all three of them needed to be here.
I'm concerned about Umbreon.
I was sort of thinking. I was thinking maybe Umbreon would be good against like something bulky like Zamazenta, but no, Zamazenta just has close combat.
Well, Zamazenta does have close combat, but Intimidated, it's not doing much to.
That's true. And this Umbreon has a Chopal Berry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but also, the other big thing to consider is what is foul play really threatening?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, really not much. I mean, I guess the
really
Necrozma.
just Cinder.
Yeah, I was thinking Cinder and Sword on Necrozma to some degree.
Yeah, if it's physical.
Yeah, because Necrozma's like kind of a wild
like you never
card.
know. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I think Post has a solid matchup here, especially with the Blastoise, as you mentioned. Really nice pick here.
Yeah, Crocodile too.
Yeah. Let's play. This is such a match. Oh, that's I didn't even notice until I looked at the paste after this match that Zamazenta was shiny. I just saw that hot pink mess in this match and I'm just like, that's normal.
Alright, so Floor just comes out right away. Which
I
is
think
kind of interesting, but I get it for the Blastoise being there. He reveals the Sub-Zero Slammer and it just dies.
Yeah, despite the minus attack. Yeah, that's a Z Ice Fang. I do want to say here.
I mean, that's what Post gets for good planning, for breaking the multi-scale with his fake out.
With the fake out. Yeah, that was huge, because I was definitely thinking, like, on that turn, you've led with both of your quad weak to ice, which I don't know how good of a lead that is. I feel like it's probably not that great. Definitely made worse by the fact that Post now has two Pokemon in that threaten with quad weak to ice, with Ice Beam. And I guess Peanut wasn't expecting the Ice Fang, which is fair enough.
Certainly not a Z1.
Yeah, certainly not a Z1, exactly. I think it would have been pretty easy for Post to fall into that trap of just doing an ice move on both
Of doing
slots.
one each.
Yeah, one each, but accounting for that multi-scale, breaking that multi-scale with the fake out, kind of huge.
It was clear that one of them was switching out, but he didn't know which one necessarily.
Yeah.
But I would say because of the multi-scale, Dragonite has the lowest chance of swapping out between them. So
yeah, because
I think Post just read that turn incredibly well.
Yep, I think very smart, and it definitely makes sense to between them switch Lando out. A, because as you said, without multi-scale, it is definitely more threatened, and B, that's the Pokemon you want to be freaking switching out anyways. This thing's got Intimidate.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
That very huge first turn for Post there. In comes
a confident switch into Kaparaja and Necrozma. A good double here.
Yeah, very nice double.
You definitely do have to be afraid of Scizor having either superpower or like a bug move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised by how much Peanut has been using this Scizor for Tailwind, honestly.
Yeah, it's been good.
It's been effective. I'm surprised to see it so much.
Yeah, going for the heavy slam on Umbreon, it's taken a lot. That's an Umbreon.
Yeah, that was into a Florges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting baby doll eyes there.
Yeah, Natesha's actually run baby doll eyes almost every week.
It's very interesting, yeah. And the knockoff is not doing anything, but it does get rid of that Chopal, which I believe allows this CC to kill from -1.
Yeah, it's now threatening Oko.
Yeah, which it would not have done otherwise. Necrozma going down. Honestly, I'd want to say Necrozma, sort of just in the matches that it's been in, feels like, quote-unquote, the flop. But I genuinely don't think it has been. I think it has...
No.
I think it has, despite not actually doing very much in matches, threatened uncertainty often enough to be
also
a pivot.
Porygon picking up the Prism armor from Necrozma,
kind of huge,
making that close combat do almost nothing.
Yeah, between the between the Eviolite, the Prism armor, this is even dude, this is an S tier now.
No.
Another Tailwind here.
Reels Heat Crash, which good ally swap on Atesh's part.
Yep. Getting those paras off.
Yeah, getting those annoying paras.
And post efficiency for some freezes. I'm sure that's not what he's doing. But the heavy slam takes it out, which is really nice because that is not blocked by prism armor, and that is a very nice stab there.
The dual wing beat comes out, which is interesting. I agree with it being there for, good old Samazenta.
Mm-hmm.
But floor just goes right down to that heavy
Caparaja
slam.
putting in work.
It was interesting to see it left in there.
Yes, and I think this is this is very smart. It's always super dangerous putting Adrenaline Orb on a Pokemon, because you never know if it's gonna activate, and it could just be a completely dead slot. But in this situation here, when you see that Peanut only has 2 Pokemon left, bringing it in is really, really good because everything you have left is a physical attacker. So
Yeah.
the Intimidate's hurting something. Hurt the thing that gets the big speed boost. Let's go.
Yeah.
You turn kind of nuts though, because he still does have Tailwind, which means that he's actually not going to benefit from that boost until next turn.
No, not yet at least.
Knocking off the Choice Band, which honestly hurts Peanut. I mean, not that it matters at this point, because
He was locked into U-turn, so arguably I would say it helps him.
yeah, that's what. Yeah. I think yeah. That's what I meant. If I didn't say that.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. No, I was thinking the ability to switch moves at this point would be pretty good for him.
Yeah,
But unfortunately, it just doesn't matter because had you had an extra turn of Tailwind there, definitely would have been real nice. But at this point, yeah, Caparaja kind of popping off.
Dude, people who under-prepare for Caparaja get rolled by it.
They lose. Caparaja's
I
freaking
think-
strong, dude.
Caparaja is 2 for 2 on showing us that it is a high-value C tier.
Oh, absolutely. I love this dumb fucking Roblox elephant. It's so good. I think very solid match there. Really strong reads from Post the first couple of turns, which gave him sort of the momentum advantage. Then leading into the mid game, some decent work from Peanut to sort of reverse that to get back with the Porygon and the switches between like Florges and Scizor and stuff.
Yeah.
But at the end, I think Post just had enough of a lead at that point and did enough good prep that it didn't matter.
The Dragonite turn 1 prep was just incredible.
Yes. So good. And just, I was saying earlier, we ended up not finishing the topic because the match was going. But I think despite the fact that Necrozma hasn't actually put in any, like, visible work, I still think it has been a good Pokemon on these teams for Post, because it has that threatening aura. For lack of a better term, the uncertainty has
the uncertainty makes it a priority target.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, when it's there, you can't ignore it, and a lot of the time it hasn't done too much with that, just because it hasn't really had the opportunity. But I think it's still been a very good pick. All right, so that is going to be it for this week. What other matches have we already had this week that we should quickly mention?
The 2 notable ones are PLKJ and Eggpling, and you and Steven.
Well, those are the only other 2. It's not the 2 notable ones. Those are the only other 2.
No. OJ Cause.
Oh, OJ Cause. Right, yeah. You're right. Never mind. What is there to say about those?
I mean, Steven played incredibly well in your match.
Yep.
But, we don't want to show it.
I will say for that match, Steven played really well. I had, I think, a huge disadvantage going into the match.
Absolutely.
But that being said, if Steven played worse, I could have potentially gotten some foothold and done something, but he just played every turn exactly as he needed to the point where there was just literally no place for me to grab onto any sort of momentum and do anything. So honestly, I'm honestly not even salty about the match, because I just see that, I'm like, Steven literally just did what he needed to do to win, and it worked extremely well.
Absolutely.
Eggpling versus PLKJ, what how did that go? I don't quite remember.
There was so much luck in that match, dude. Uh, I think PLKJ got frozen again.
Fun.
Egg missed like 6 rock slides.
Nice.
It was a mess, that match.
Okay, so that one sounds like it was pretty volatile. Alright, well that is gonna be it for the final week of TDD. We are now moving into awards voting, so within... Well, actually, at this point, they are out already. The awards, we will have... what's the word I'm looking for? Not designated. Pokemon are going to be there. You can vote for the ones you want to vote for. Next week, we will actually have an off week. We'll be talking in the next recap about everybody's seasonal performance, just mentioning the awards and the Pokemon that, you know, performed really, really well this season. And then the week after that, we will be back with playoffs, quarterfinals. Get hype if you're not in them, because if you are in them, you're a nerd. Get them. I don't
Sounds
mean
good.
that. I don't mean that. I'm just sad. Anyways, goodbye.
All right. See ya.